This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right?
Very.
So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Big Ten champions.
National champions, yes. The Ducks take home an indoor national title.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
We are in the midst of a championship weekend here in Eugene. Oregon softball going for a regional championship as postseason play starts today for Coach Lombardi's squad. Oregon track and field going after a Big Ten championship as they just got rocking and rolling over at Hayward Field to start off the Big Ten championships. Oregon women's golf is looking for a national championship as they just took the course at the NCAA National Championships in California. And Oregon baseball is now looking for a Big Ten regular season championship after some results went the Ducks' way yesterday. Ryan Milano here with you on a Friday in the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're getting you set for everything you need to know this weekend. The two big events in Eugene, Oregon softball. If you have not already got your ticket, there are still very few tickets available. Make sure to go and check on GoDucks.com. If you want to go to any of the games this weekend, get your ticket now, or I'm not sure there's going to be one left for you. Make sure you secure your spot in Jane Sanders Stadium for the first regional under Coach Lombardi. Also, Oregon track and field, they just got going at Hayward Field. There are shuttles going back and forth to take you from Autzen Stadium over to Hayward Field. You can use it if you're going to softball as well. It's not that far of a walk from Hayward Field over to softball. Actually, today I think it'll probably work out just about perfectly if you want to double dip where you go and you watch softball. The game for Missy Lombardi's crew will be game 2 of the day over at Jane Sanders Stadium against Weber State. That game is going to be at 4:30. What I would do is I would go to softball and watch game 1, Stanford vs. Binghamton, which will start at the end of the hour. It's going to be a 2 o'clock first pitch to start the regional. Stay for the Oregon vs. Weber State game, and then walk over to Hayward Field and get some of the running event finals that will be going on here on a Friday late at night, and just get your full dose of Oregon athletics throughout the course of today. That's what I would do. You've got options because there's that much going on around Eugene. The schedule for Oregon softball and the regional this weekend, I just mentioned the schedule for today on Friday. Then on Saturday, the games will start beginning at 1 o'clock. It's the winner's bracket game that will start, followed by the loser's bracket game, followed by a third game on Saturday that will be whoever won the second game and lost the first game into that final game to decide who will play in the regional final on Sunday. 1 o'clock tomorrow is when things will kick off. Oregon slated to play at 4:30 today. It'll be broadcast on ESPN Plus if you want to watch the games today at the Eugene Regional. It is a big opportunity for Oregon softball, ranked as the 16th team in the country, as the 16th regional host, a top 10 team depending on which publication you look at, but it is the first time under Coach Lombardi that Oregon softball will host at the Jane. I'm excited to see what regional and postseason softball looks like at Jane Sanders Stadium. I think Coach Lombardi is excited to see what postseason softball looks like at the Jane, being in front of the home crowd. 2 days ago, Coach Lombardi, she spoke with the media about her excitement level, the team's preparation, and what Oregon needs to do to execute to make sure that the Ducks survive through Eugene and continue to advance past the regional round to the super regionals. Here's Coach Lombardi talking to the media earlier in the week.
I'm sure you're locked in on preparing for Friday, but do you find yourself also glancing up and seeing that and kind of having it resonate, what it means to be playing postseason here?
Yeah, it's what we've been talking about all year. Since day one, we talked about hosting and being at home. So Jane looks the same, but then to see it dressed up a little bit for postseason looks really, really neat.
Just as a coach, I mean, as you guys get closer to obviously the start of regional play, do you feel like for you, just the moment and the journey that you've been trying to working this program to get back to you, do you feel like it's been kind of hitting you a little bit more of what this process has been like as you get closer to Friday?
It's interesting for this group, for all of us. Like, we have just had our head down and grinding day in, day out, day in, day out. And I think being able to come home and have 3 to 4 just really good practices gave us like a second to like put our heads up, get some air, and then just kind of see the big picture a little bit more versus what's right in front of us. So, yes.
Do you feel like that was kind of needed? Because, I mean, obviously, Big Ten tournament, obviously, early exit loss, a little bit unexpected. Do you feel like this has kind of refreshed the team a little bit more to get them prepared for this moment to where what happened in the Big Ten tournament, won't happen again, obviously?
I do. I think just we didn't play well enough to be able to continue into the tournament. And so to see that and come home and just get some time to make some last minute adjustments for us. And I think to just take a breath because our heads have been down and just a constant grind and travel. We've been to it feels like we've been to the East Coast a lot, and these guys have handled it very well. But we needed to come home and take a breath.
Yeah, a lot of people probably when they think of home field advantage think it applies at 4:30 on Friday, but maybe it applies all week to you guys. It sounds like
it does. It does. The fact that we are home, we have morning practices, and then these guys head to school, and they get to practice, head to school, go get recovery, go get dinner, go home, sleep in their own beds. So yes, it's more than just playing in the tournament. It's the fact that we're not traveling right now anywhere as well.
Whether it was Sunday night after selection or into Monday, if they miss you, talk about the journey. Did you have time to think about or reflect at all that had come across about year one, about version one, and just totality of this? That yes, some of these seniors in particular, they were around the last 3 years. They've been to the postseason every year, but this is the culmination of a process for you and members of the staff who had to deal with year one and then COVID year two and other things that happened before we got to this point. Mm-hmm. Did you have a chance did that cross your mind? Is that something that comes up when the team leaves the house Sunday night? Kind of?
Not really. No, I'm so thankful for version one. They're unbelievable in everything that they did, and they set the tone for each version behind them. But just caught up in this group right here, and to see them almost break my couch because they were so excited that we were playing in Eugene, and just to the joy because of all the hard work that they've done and the travel and the commitment. And there's just so much more to this than just getting on the field and playing. I think people don't always understand that. There's so much more. So to see them from the start of this year, not really understanding how good they were, to the end of this year and being Big Ten champs and then getting their name called as a national seed to host, like that's where they go, okay, our journey and everything that we've done, it's been worth it. We've trusted it. We see the vision, and we're doing exactly what we need to do.
What's more valuable to you, how spectacular Paige is just as a shortstop individually, or the job she's done with the new infield, kind of getting everybody on the same page over the course of the season to be playing at the level they're at?
I think getting everybody where they need to be. I don't think we are doing the things we're doing if we don't have our leadership. And I think of Paige and I think of Kai and the stuff that they're doing on and off the field, the tough conversations. Nobody likes to have a tough conversation, but what I love is that when you do have the tough conversation, solutions always come. Nobody wants to sit and continue to have a tough conversation. Solutions come. And so just the leadership that our group, what they've done throughout the year, that the product, the result is what you're seeing on the field with our team.
I kind of want to go back to what you said before about kind of going beyond just the statistics and playing on the field, just beyond the obvious. What do you feel like is going to be the biggest difference for you guys to be able to come away this weekend with a regional win and move on to super regional play?
Yeah, I think it's going to take all 3 cylinders. Everybody's in postseason for a reason, and you can't kind of play. It's about them competing one pitch at a time and not getting any further or anything past that. Just competing one pitch at a time together, and really sticking with who they are and what they've been doing all year. Now that it's postseason, we don't have to do different. Do we have to play well? Yes, you do, because you're going to have great teams that you're going to play against all weekend long, so you can't kind of play. But their process and them knowing what they need to do, stay right there.
Lindsay, the last couple of weeks, it's just been a little bit different statistically speaking. She's obviously still had a tremendous season. Has there been something that you've seen in video review of these last couple of performances that's just been different, to something that needs to be corrected, adjusted, to get back to what she was doing?
Yeah. And I think that's just the beauty of being home. You know, we get to come home and we get to get some reps and work on some things for her, for our defense, for our offense, and just tune things up a little bit. Like I said, we've just been constantly, like, you play, you come home, you prep for one day, and you leave. And it's just constant. That's been the endless cycle. And so I think for her and for everybody else to come home and just check in and see where things are at and where we need to go with them was huge.
Whatever you've identified, do you view it as more of a physical thing that needed to be adjusted, or mental? And because you're talking about just the cycle that was, and that travel was a big component of it. I guess that's both physically taxing and mentally also. Is the adjustment that's needed more mental or physical?
I just think more of just getting a breather.
Coach, how important is it to you to have the fans here at the Jane and pack the Jane and be able to show them? I mean, you've talked numerous times about what that was like on the opposing side of it, but to have that environment for your players, being able to show off the Jane in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, what's been great is our fans have given us a postseason environment all year long. And now that postseason is here, I'm excited to see how much more they're going to give us, but they've been unbelievable. Like, our athletes will tell you their favorite place to play. My favorite place to coach is right here. So to be able to do this in front of our fans, it's important. Our fans have been awesome all year. They've been through with us the whole way, even with our stumbles. They've been unreal. Just all over these guys, like, all right, next one, and I love that. I just love their commitment to this group. This is a special group, and I'm glad that we get to celebrate with postseason and do it right here for them.
I'm really excited to see what the environment is inside Jane Sanders Stadium throughout the course of the week, because the way the ticket sales have looked, it's going to be that type of Lion's Den environment that Coach Lombardi is always referring to. And really, these days for me, it almost feels like a holiday. Like the first day, really the first weekend of a regional round, whether it be softball or baseball, when you have so many games going on at the same time. Right now, there's something like 16 games currently going on across the national softball landscape. It just feels like it's the holiday of the sport to get to start the regional round. It's every fan's dream, and I'm really excited that Oregon gets to host and experience at Jane Sanders Stadium for the first time in the Coach Lombardi tenure, going up against Weber State today. After the conclusion of the Stanford-Binghamton game, the Oregon game is slated to start at 4:30. It will start roughly half hour to 45 minutes after the first game concludes, but that will, of course, depend on how swift Stanford gets through Binghamton or Binghamton gets through Stanford. It will not start before 4:30, just the way that things are scheduled to go. 4:30 is the slated time for Oregon softball today to start their region against Weber State. We're taking a timeout. Coach Lombardi talked a lot about leaders on this team. We're getting to a few of the leaders when we return after this on Deck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano with you on a Friday. I talked about the holiday that is the first few days of the softball regional. Right now in studio, we're watching the Michigan-UCF game that is coming down to the wire in the bottom of the seventh. Michigan up by a run. UCF has runners on with 2 outs. It's this type of drama that makes the first few days of a regional round, whether it be softball, baseball, but the Diamond Sports Regional is so compelling. You know, even for NCAA basketball, when you just got so many teams playing at the same time, there's drama wherever you look. Oregon hoping to steer clear of the drama later today, going up against Weber State, scheduled to start at 4:30 at Jane Sanders Stadium. Someone who could pitch in this game, will certainly pitch throughout the weekend, has been a big ace for Oregon. One of 2 aces that the Ducks have, and it's a luxury for Oregon to have 2. They've got Lindsey Grine, who's a top 10 player of the year watch list member. But they also have Elise Sokolsky, who has been stellar for Oregon throughout her career. And if she does end up meeting with Stanford later in this tournament, she has some success against the Cardinal dating back to last season when she threw a 7-inning complete game shutout in the final game of the regular season. Elise Sokolsky has been big for Oregon over the last few years under Coach Lombardi, hoping to guide the Ducks through the Eugene Regional on to Supers, Oklahoma City, pardon me, Women's College World Series. There's goals in front of Oregon. Elise Sokolsky could be a big reason for that. Elise Sokolsky, she spoke with the media a few days ago.
Obviously, in just a couple days, you guys are going to be hosting your first regional since 2018. Just how excited is the team? How excited are you? And just how much can you not wait just to get back in the circle and get your opportunity to be back in front of these fans at the Jane?
Yeah, I know we're super excited just to be able to have teams come in and see what the Jane is really like. Is such a fun experience. To have our fans come out and be able to support us during the first part of postseason, so much fun. So we're pretty excited.
How much of this is just a dream come true for you and for this team?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. To be able to play postseason at home, it's a dream. So I mean, I'm super excited for it.
With a chance to look back a little bit at the earlier game with Weber, what do you remember, or what jogged your memory a little bit from, I realize it's like 3 months ago, but yeah, from that matchup and how you were able to do against them, which obviously was pretty well.
What was that?
You obviously did pretty well against them. What do you recall of?
Yeah, I think we're going at them like we do every other team. We're just trying to go out and attack. So, attack the hitters, attack the pitchers, every part of it. We're just going to go out there and do Oregon softball.
What are you most excited about for this weekend? I mean, it's the first time that you guys are here, it's postseason. You guys have played in postseason before, but what are you personally most excited about?
I'm excited to win a regional at home. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to be able to celebrate that with my team.
Just wondering from, what is it? My time's all off. Last week or 2 weeks ago in the Big Ten tournament, obviously an early exit loss for you guys. What did you guys learn from that moment that you feel like maybe you guys needed, obviously heading to this kind of postseason play potentially?
Yeah, I think it's just a good reminder. Obviously now we're heading into true NCAA postseason, but I think that kind of gives you a taste of you can be one and done. So just to have the experience of, yeah, you know what, our time did get cut short. We're not going to let it happen again. So yeah.
How important is it to you to try to get the stadium packed? If you could talk to the community and the fans, how important it is to have them here at the Jane.
It's so important. I remember we've had multiple games this year where we were able to get the crowd involved and it just messed up with the other team. Like they were not expecting all the hype and all the energy coming from the crowd. So trying to pack the stands, try to pack the bob, it's huge just to be able to get people and their support in here.
Normally, I mean, we've talked about this here and there, but the weather obviously right now, not sure what it's going to be like obviously this weekend, but you guys have kind of with this season had the opportunity to experience all different sorts of climates. Again, just how is kind of the unique perspective of dealing with this season and playing in different environments that you guys have never had to play in before really you think maybe help prepare you for a moment where even this weekend you don't know what you're going to be getting on the field when you go out there in the circle? Yeah, well, I think we have the advantage here. This is our weather. We know how to play in our weather. So just to have that confidence to know that no matter what this weekend looks like, we know what we can do no matter what it is.
What's been the biggest difference this season, at least with having Lindsay here? How has that helped you when you have a tandem like the two of you? How has it helped you even outside of gameplay, even if it's just in practice or off the field? Just what does her presence do to help you as a pitcher? We bounce off each other a lot. She's one of my really good friends off the field as well. So just to be able to have that relationship, as a friend and as a pitcher, I can go to her. And I feel like she can come to me with whatever help we need on the field or off the field. It's just really special to have that in a pitching staff because I feel like at a lot of other places you won't see that. So it's really special. What's something that maybe we don't know or the fans don't necessarily know? You can look at all of her numbers and statistics and what she does, but what's something that maybe we don't all know? We always joke about on the mound, she's stone cold. She's super into it. You could not tell, but off the field, she is the sweetest person you may ever meet in your life. She's always super smiling, I don't know, just it's just such a sweet soul. And I think a lot of fans, from seeing her in the circle, you would not guess that because she's just out there and she's doing her job. So it's just that alter ego kind of thing, I guess.
Was it jarring when you first kind of saw that take place? You kind of saw the smiley demeanor, and then when they, get in the circle, see kind of a different animal? I kind of understood because I think as a pitcher, or as a softball player in general, you kind of have to have that alter ego. Just come out and take place on the field, come out and be you. So.
At least the staff overall, you guys have gotten really close, but the team, all teams kind of talk about playing for each other, but, the 3 Bs for this team, but you guys really seem to have embraced that, and that camaraderie really seems to be something that pulls you guys through those close moments. Could you just talk about that?
Yeah, I think a big conversation between us, as we're getting into postseason, is we want to play with this group for as long as we can. So if there's nothing else motivating us, it's that we're playing to be with each other for longer. Because realistically, you see, if you go to the Women's Culture World Series, you got 3 to 4 weeks left. And even then, doesn't feel like long enough with this team. You know, it's just such a special group. We have such a special connection. So we just want to keep playing with each other as long as we can.
Can you explain how that drive maybe impacts your ability to perform in the circle or other players' ability to perform, at the plate? Because non-athletes, we don't really know what that feeling is like. So can you put that into perspective, how that maybe helps you guys play better in a situation like this?
Yeah, the best way I know how to put it is like I would run through a wall for my teammates. Like whenever I'm out there, like I don't care how I'm feeling, but I'm out there to do a job for my team. It's not about me, it's about them. So I'm going to do whatever I can to succeed for them.
Elise Sokolsky will run through a wall for her team. That's the type of special group that we're talking about here with Oregon softball, and you can feel it. You can feel it when you watch these games, how connected this team is. You heard Coach Lombardi talk about the leadership that's required from some of the veterans on this club to get the younger players up to speed of what the standard of Oregon softball is, and this group has brought it together to host a regional at Jane Sanders Stadium. 4:30 scheduled first pitch against Weber State to start Oregon postseason play today. We're getting to another timeout. When we return, getting to another one of those veterans that's going to be hosting their first regional. Coming back on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It is Regional Friday here in Eugene, Oregon. It's Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union in the Country Financial Studio as Oregon softball is getting ready for postseason play today. Coach Lombardi, we heard her talk about the leaders of this club, both in the circle, we heard from Lisa Kolsky, but also on the field. And Oregon has 3 veterans that have been with this team for a long time, have seen the ebbs and flows of this program, and now at I don't want to say the pinnacle because hopefully for Oregon it's still rising, but to see the mark that Oregon has achieved in hosting a regional, I think a ton of credit. Yes, it has to go to Coach Lombardi, it has to go to the pitching staff, but Paige Sinicki, Kai Lushar, Kedri Lushar, I think they deserve a lot of credit as the seniors for Oregon that have been the starters on this year's team, that have been around the program for 4+ years. It has been special to watch their leadership, and in particular, it's been really special to watch Kedri Lushar's growth throughout the course of her career in an Oregon uniform, where she didn't get to start even at the beginning of this season. She wasn't a starter for Oregon, cracked the starting lineup, and then was a top 25 player of the year finalist. That's how good of a season she's had, how much of an impact she's made on this roster, and it takes those type of X factors to get to where Oregon is at this point in time, where you do host a regional. You need those breakout players, and she's broken out in a big way and helped lead this team in a huge way. I think there's a lot of impact that she has on this roster, and she is a mammoth reason why Oregon is in the position in which it is. Kedri Lushar, before she goes and hosts regional games for the first time starting today at Jane Sanders Stadium, she spoke with the media earlier in the week.
Kedri, you guys are the first team under Lombardi to be able to have a host or to host a regional here. What's that like for you, and what are you looking forward to most about that?
Yeah, I think looking forward most to the fact that we all get to play together on our field again. Nobody doubted that we would be here again, so it's just awesome to be able to be with each other on our own field again. And yeah.
When it comes to Lindsay, obviously you and her were both in the top 25 finalists for Player of the Year, and obviously she now gets announced that she's made it for the top 10. Just what's it like facing off against her, every day at practice when you guys get to do that? And how's your guys' friendship and relationship grown over this season?
Yeah, our friendship is very strong. Every single day we say hi, we ask how each other is doing. I'm super proud of her, and that's so deserving for her. She works her butt off, and there's never a day where she's just not bringing all of the fire, passion, and love for the game. She's very consistent, and nobody more deserving than her.
What makes her one of the most dangerous pitchers in the country this season? And just be honest, how often does she beat you, and how often do you beat her?
Well, first off, I'd say her mentality. She thinks and believes with all her might that nobody's going to beat her, and that's what helps drive her success, because she knows that she's better than whoever she's facing. We actually I haven't hit off of her in a while. It's been a minute. So, but yeah, she's just has a really strong mindset.
You have a front row seat to watch Paige defensively. What do you think of the one or two things that are so key to how good she is at short?
I think her communication. She's always talking, making sure that people are where they're supposed to be, that they know where she is, and I think just her determination. She's a wall. She knows that nothing is getting by her, and she's just awesome. She's so athletic, and she trusts herself, and she just puts in so much hard work, so that all shows up.
Kedri, you've been obviously a part of this organization for your entire career now at this collegiate level. Just how much of this opportunity to play in regionals here at the Jane is just a dream come true for you? Just the long journey that you guys have been working for year after year, version 7, to finally have this opportunity to bring this to the fans and to the community.
Yeah, this is something we have talked about all 4 years I've been here, being able to host a regional, and being able to do it for the seniors last year is great. Kai and I were talking about it the other day. We were like, how cool is it that we get to play together and just be on the field one last time here at the Jane. So yeah, it's awesome.
Does having that perspective of the 4 years, do you think that helps almost appreciate the journey and I wouldn't say the struggle per se, you guys making the postseason, but it's different for the freshmen who they didn't experience not being here. Yeah. So they have more perspective, particularly in the early years, of what it was like, and then those seniors were the ones who had to go through version 1 and when it really was in a tough spot. Tough to have a better understanding of it. I guess you can't really answer for the freshmen, but for your own self, do you think having that experience gives you perspective on it?
For sure. Perspective is everything. And I think that we all put in a lot of hard work this year, and we had in years past, but everybody's journey looks different. And for the freshmen, it's their first year getting to do this and having that opportunity. And for us, it's our last, but it feels all the same. It's great. So
can you put into perspective, just is there one thing that's really changed this year that's allowed you guys to get this spot? If there's multiple, can you just explain that? Just like what in your eyes you think led to you guys being able to be in this spot this season, now looking back to what you guys obviously achieved from the beginning to the end?
Yeah, I think we just all had the same goal and vision. Most importantly, this year, there wasn't any outliers. We just all had the same exact goals and things that we wanted to achieve this year. And everybody really, really bought in 1 through 23. Like we just all have such a drive to compete and play and win. And we're just have been unstoppable so far. So
in your time here, each group gets close. I mean, you guys build bonds with each other, really close friendships. But this group seems different. I mean, you guys talk about the 3Bs, but the way that you guys embrace playing with each other this season, can you just talk about what is unique about this group and why you think that's made you guys so successful?
Yeah, I think we are willing to have the tough conversations that might be a little bit uncomfortable. But I think that's what has, one, grown our relationships off the field and on the field, but two, just help us to be a unit out there and just one. Those conversations aren't easy, but we want the best for each other. And if we know that, we can do anything.
Big theme of communication for Oregon. Talking about Paige Sinicki and how strong of a communicator she is defensively. Talking about the communication between players and how the tough conversations have helped bolster some toughness on the team and the camaraderie of the players and have that the mindset to battle through adversity. It's been really important, and it's been a big theme for Oregon throughout the course of the season is, okay, so what now what? What happened? All right? Did we win? Did we lose? What are we going to take from it? Flush it? Go to bed? And it's a new day tomorrow. Well, it's a new day, every pitch in postseason play. Oregon going up against Weber State to start the Eugene Regional today at 4:30. It'll be game 2 of the day after Stanford and Binghamton. They're about to get going in about 25 minutes over at the Jane. It's going to be fun. Make sure you secure a ticket to Jane Sanders Stadium. There are not very many left. If you want to be inside of Jane Sanders Stadium, get your ticket now. What are you waiting for? Oregon softball looking to have a strong weekend. We will have a full regional breakdown for you on the show on Monday. For now, a timeout. We're getting to the other diamond sport, who by the end of the weekend, could be Big Ten regular season champions. Talking about Oregon baseball. It's game day when we return on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal housing opportunity.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, the summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
We're back inside the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It is Oregon softball game day in postseason. It is Oregon track and field meet day over at Hayward Field. It is match day for Oregon golf, and it is also game day for Oregon baseball in Game 2 of the series on a Friday. It being the last regular season series against Iowa, it's been moved up a day. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Ducks, they play tonight at 4 o'clock, a 3:45 pregame on the Oregon Sports Network, and the Ducks are riding a ton of momentum into this game against Iowa. Oregon has won 8 games in a row after the 10-0 run rule victory yesterday for the Ducks against Iowa. And Iowa was the team who came into the weekend at first place in the Big Ten Conference, and the way that Oregon got through the game and dismantled a very strong, usually Friday night pitcher, but their Thursday night, their ace, Cade Obermueller. I think it was really strong for Grayson Grinsell. We'll get into his Big Ten Pitcher of the Year candidacy a little bit more later, but Oregon really broke down Iowa's starter. I thought that was key in this 10-0 win for the Ducks yesterday. Oregon in the first inning of this game jumped out to a 1-0 lead after they found ways, manufactured base runners. Jacob Walsh and Dominic Hellman get on to start the game. Drew Smith hits an RBI single. Ducks are up 1-0 early. Then the offense couldn't capitalize on a few more base runners in the second and the third. But then in the fourth inning, Oregon really broke the game open. Drew Smith gets on, moved over to third base, less than 2 outs. Berkeley Mabius puts down a bunt. Flip goes to the plate. Drew Smith gets under the tag. Oregon leads 2-0. Then, with 2 on, a batter walks, bases get loaded. Carter Garate comes to the plate, and Carter Garate leaves the yard after earlier in the game he got hit by a pitch on his hand. He actually had to take off his batting glove on his glove hand. He's a right-hand thrower, so on his left hand, he had to take off his batting glove. And will say he's in preview for the Coach's Corner today, it's actually a little bit swollen, so he couldn't physically get the batting glove onto his hand. It didn't matter for Carter Garate because he came to the plate in the fourth inning with the bases loaded, and he hit the ball over the wall for a grand slam. Carter Garate has 2 home runs this year. Both of them have been grand slams. He hit a grand slam against Georgetown earlier in the season, and then he hit a grand slam yesterday against Iowa. Big 4-run home run, was a 5-run fourth inning for Oregon. The Ducks were up 6-0 after the fourth inning. Then in the fifth inning, Maddox Maloney came to the plate, and Maddox Maloney hit a 2-run home run to make it 8-0 Oregon in front. Then, next time through the order in the seventh inning, top of the seventh, Maddox Maloney comes up again, and Maddox Maloney clears the wall again. His second home run of the day. It's the second time that Maddox Maloney has hit 2 home runs in a game this season. The third time Maddox Maloney has hit 2 home runs in a game this season. Made it 9-0 on the solo shot. It was a line drive opposite way for Maddox Maloney over the wall. Started spraying it to all fields over the course of this game. Made it 9-zip, and then 2 batters later, Ryan Cooney came to the plate, and he hit his 4th home run of the season to make it 10-0 Oregon in the top of the 7th. The offense was alive for the Ducks in a game that we previewed yesterday as a pitcher's duel because you think about probably the 3 front runners for Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. Well, it was probably Joseph Giroux for Michigan State, who we saw a few weeks ago, but also Grayson Grinsell for Oregon and Cade Obermueller for Iowa. Well, Grinsell and Obermueller went up against each other yesterday, and Oregon put 10 runs up on Iowa. Grayson Grinsell threw a complete game shutout on the other side for Oregon. Against the starter, Obermueller went 5 innings. He had 8 hits, 8 runs came across against Cade Obermueller. Grayson Grinsell, 7 innings, 2 hits allowed, no runs came across. He walked just 1. He struck out 8. Grayson Grinsell game in and game out, has given Oregon 7+ innings and 0 to 1, maybe an occasional 2-run outing here and there. He has been that dominant throughout the course of Big Ten play. In conference play, Grayson Grinsell has a 7-1 record, a 136 earned run average. Opponents hit just 167 off of Grayson Grinsell. He has struck out 70 compared to 19 walks. His whip is 14.1, an 0.86 whip for Grayson Grinsell. He has thrown 3 complete games. You compare him to Joseph Giroux on the other side for Michigan State, who is probably the only other pitcher at this point in the race with Grinsell for Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. Grayson Grinsell, a 1.36 conference ERA. Giroux, a conference ERA of 3. Giroux is 4-3 in conference games. Grinsell has struck out 13 more conference batters in the same amount of starts, and he's thrown 6 more innings than Giroux has in that time. He's allowed 14 less hits. He's allowed half as many earned runs. What I'm saying is that, yes, I am wearing an O on my chest, and yes, I do call most of the games that Grayson Grinsell throws. However, I think Grayson Grinsell should be the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. If you look at all games, not just conference games, Grayson Grinsell has an ERA 2 points higher than Giroux does, but he's thrown 3 more innings, and I think it's just so comparable at this point after Joseph Giroux yesterday earned the loss in a start against Michigan that Grayson Grinsell has my vote, if I had one, for Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. He's been that good. And, well, typically the conference pitcher and player of the year normally goes to maybe the best pitcher on the best team in the conference. And Oregon, after the results yesterday, has a chance to be the team at the top of the Big Ten Conference because not only did Oregon beat Iowa, Iowa was in first starting the weekend, but also Oregon got some help from Northwestern as UCLA lost their game to Northwestern. And now the Big Ten standings is Iowa in first place at 21-7, Oregon at 20-8, UCLA at 20-8. Oregon has the tiebreaker over UCLA for seeding in the Big Ten tournament next week. And if Oregon can win the next 2 games against Iowa, the Ducks would clinch at least a share of the Big Ten crown. If Northwestern wins another game against UCLA and Oregon wins the next 2 against Iowa, then the Ducks would clinch an outright Big Ten title. The Ducks do have to win both games against Iowa. If the Hawkeyes win one, it would be Iowa in the driver's seat for the conference title. Actually, if Iowa wins one, I think with the loss for UCLA yesterday, Iowa would clinch a Big Ten title. But with that being said, Oregon right now, at this point in time, is on an 8-game winning streak. The Ducks going up against Iowa, and Iowa does have 2 really strong starters on both Saturday and Sunday as well, Friday and Saturday this week as well. But if Oregon can do what they did yesterday against Iowa, 2 more games in a row, the Ducks could clinch yet another Big Ten title. Oregon's had a few of those in their first year in the conference, and after the Ducks dropped a few games that I'm sure if you ask the team and Coach Wazakowski, they probably shouldn't have earlier in the season, well, now the Ducks have played themselves back into position to potentially win a conference title. 2 more games left for Oregon baseball in the regular season, one of them coming up tonight at 4 o'clock, a 3:45 pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network. It's a big one for the Ducks tonight in their race for a conference crown. Oregon track and field also trying to track down 2 more conference titles on the men's and the women's side. We're breaking that down for you when we return after this on Duck Inside on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCAA. Equal housing opportunity.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
It's a double Diamond Sports game day here on a Friday. Postseason for Oregon softball starts at 4:30 approximately, depending on when the Stanford-Binghamton game is over at the Jane. Oregon baseball at 4 o'clock today. Also on Saturday, 10 a.m. will be the first pitch time for Oregon softball. Joey Mack will have the call on the Oregon Sports Network for both of the Oregon baseball games this weekend. Oregon track and field also in action, chasing down a Big Ten title. 2 Big Ten titles on both the men's and the women's side after both teams took home the indoor conference titles a few months ago. The meet starts today. It's encouraged that you park over at Autzen Stadium and take a shuttle over. Shuttles will run throughout the course of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going on right now. Will be going until 11 o'clock tonight, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. If you're worried about parking, just park over at Autzen. Take a shuttle over. Shuttles run every half hour to get over from Autzen to Hayward Field. There will be 6 conference champions decided tonight. Men's and women's 10K, men's pole vault, men's javelin, and the men's and women's hammer championships will all be crowned tonight. The running events are slated to start at 5:36 tonight, and the 10K will begin just after 8 o'clock at Hayward Field. So make sure you get to Hayward Field to watch the Big Ten championships today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. And what a great way to start off the meet. Right before we got on air, the first decathlon event started. And how about the new haircut for Kobe Kessler? A Duck really representing himself in the best way. I mean, just look at this haircut. It's bleached blonde hair with green duck outlines in it. It's a great hairdo. Good job, Kobe Kessler. You're representing Oregon the right way. All Ducks, and in the yellow uniforms, the unstoppable yellow uniforms for Oregon on Conference Championship Week. It's also Women's Golf National Championship weekend starting today. The Ducks just hit the course. Kiara Romero actually yesterday, just before the teams got in action this weekend, was named on the National Golfer of the Year watch list. So Kiara Romero, according to the WGCA, National Player of the Year watch list member, and I think she's got a good shot to win the award the way that she has been performing throughout the course of this year. The Ducks just got out onto the course in Carlsbad, California, to start off their NCAA Championships. A few teams are already in the clubhouse. Vanderbilt is the low scorer at 6 under. Oklahoma State at 4 under. Oregon is 5 under through 3 through 6 holes, depending on which golfer you pick. Tiffany Wong, 4 under par through her first 4 holes. She's currently 4 under through 5. Suvachayev is 1 under through her first 4 holes. Tong An is even par through her first 5 holes, and Kiara Romero is even par through her first 3 holes. The Ducks are a stroke back of the leader in the clubhouse through 3 through 6 holes, depending on which golfer you pick. It's a good start through the first few holes for Oregon women's golf out on the course in Carlsbad, California. The way that this weekend will go for the NCAA Championships, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all stroke play. Then the field will get cut in half from 30 to 15. The top 15 teams will play in another round of stroke play on Monday to cut the field to the top 8 teams. After that Monday round of stroke play, a national champion will be crowned, and then the top 8 teams will be whittled down to 4 and then 2 on Tuesday through 2 rounds of match play. And on Wednesday, the 2 surviving teams will then play in a round of match play to decide the national champion. It will not be televised over the course of the weekend, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will all be televised on the Golf Channel, hoping that Oregon has a lengthy run through next week in the National Golf Championships. And the way that they started today, I think it's a good sign for the rest of the weekend for Derek Radley's club. Also over the course of the weekend, this weekend, the WNBA is going to get rocking and rolling. We saw what that was like at Matthew Knight Arena on Monday, that type of energy. Congratulations to all the Ducks that will be competing in the WNBA this season. Sabrina Ionescu and Yara Sabali, hey, we just saw them earlier in the week at Matthew Knight Arena, the defending WNBA champions. Also, Satu Sabali will be competing for the Phoenix Mercury this year, a new club for Satu Sabali this season. Excited to see her closer to the West Coast. Big weekend in Oregon athletics. Get out to the Chain, get out to Hayward Field. Oregon baseball going for a Big Ten title. We'll have it all for you on Monday. Go Ducks.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you drive.
Very well done. Left it all out on the field. Thank you. I hope the same thing. Let's do it again in the fall. How about that?
Don't drive distracted.
Thank you. You too.
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.